Hi, I'm Jamie and I'm a parent.
I'm Glenn and I research video games. Welcome to this episode of Great Games, Better Brains.
Glenn, I've been having some questions.
Like?
Well, I've got some kids at home, a boy and a girl, and I never know what games are appropriate for their ages.
Well, that's a question a lot of parents have, is what game, if they go into the game store and their kids are just running around grabbing games off the shelf, how do you know which games are good and which ones are not so good? And I'll explain it a little bit like this. Do your kids go and watch movies?
Yeah.
And how do you know which movies to go send them to?
Well, I usually use a website.
And so, part of the
filters it
website,
for me.
and so part of the rating, do you look at the ratings of the movies, like R-rated or PG-13 or PG? Does that help you at all?
I look not only at the ratings that are on there, but I don't know if it's sexually explicit or
Right.
or the language content. I look at those.
So as much information as possible, a rating plus some descriptors,
Right.
right? And the good thing about video games is that there's a group of people who've gotten together, and they're actually video game manufacturers, and they're called the ESRB, the Entertainment Software Research Board, a ratings board, excuse me. And what they've done is to give us 6 different ratings and some descriptors to help parents like you and I to figure out which games are good and which
Right.
ones are bad.
So how do they base that rating on?
Yeah, they've a lot like the movies. It's by age, and there's actually 6. And the first one is actually called early childhood. It's for kids ages 3 and up, but it's really designed just for younger kids. There's another one that's called Everyone. It's just E for everyone,
Okay.
and it's for kids 6 years old and up. And they have another one that's kind of weird. It's actually also for everyone, but it's Everyone 10 plus. So
Okay.
it's still an E, but you'll see on the label E 10 plus, and that's obviously for kids 10 years and older. And you got some other ones. One is called Teen, and you'll see a big Teen, and that's for 13 years and older. And then a couple other ones that you really need to be aware of. One is called Mature. It's got a big M on it, and it's for 17-year-old kids and above. And then there's another one that's just literally adults only, 18 years and older. So those are the 6: early childhood, everyone, everyone plus 10, teen, mature, and adult. And the nice thing is they're really plainly marked on every video game that you're going to go buy. If you go to a GameStop, any kind of game, online video game store, you're going to see the rating. It's right there on the front, big M, big T, big E, whatever. But the nice thing is on the back, that logo is still there, but then there's some descriptors. Like explicit adult content or mild violence or cartoonish
Right.
violence. And so you'll see some more descriptors, and I think that's really important, is that you look on the front, get an idea of what age, flip it over on the back, and then get some of those descriptor words, some of those keywords that help us as parents try to figure out whether these games are appropriate
Right.
or not.
I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
with me
welcome.
today.
There's some other places too, not just, if you go to esrb.org,
Okay.
the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, you can go to their website. There's lots of stuff on there for parents. It's really cool. A couple other places you might want to go to. One is called GameStop, just GameStop.com. And you were telling me earlier that you go to that website
Yep,
quite a
I've heard
bit.
of that one. But is there another one?
Yeah,
if
there's
I'm
a
not
couple
finding
other
what I
ones.
want?
There's a really good one that I like called SupersmartGames.com. And if you go to SupersmartGames.com, you're going to get some of these same kinds of descriptors, and you can search by grade level, by age, by type of game, by content. It's really designed for parents to help them find games in specific content areas like math, reading skills.
So it has
science.
search engines. I can narrow it down
Oh,
to
yeah.
what I'm specifically looking for.
So-
versus the other ones, how do they work?
Yeah, same way. GameSpot, you can search by age and by type of game. GameSpot is not designed necessarily for parents. I mean, it's just a great database of lots and lots of games. SuperSmart Games is really designed for parents, and the database of games is much smaller. So you're going to get some of the best games, some of the ones that are most appropriate for content area kinds of stuff. And then the ESRB doesn't really have games necessarily. It has some, but it's really to help explain the ratings and give some suggestions to parents. So for this week, go to a couple of those websites, check out, next time you buy some games with your kids and you're out talking with your kids about buying those games, look for those 6 rating levels and be really clear about what you expect your kids to purchase. Those things need to be part of your job as a parent. Thanks for watching this episode of Great Games, Better Brains.
For more information, you can simply visit mykidsturn.com.
See you next time.